I originally wasn't going to make a video about this, seeing as how this story kind of broke out yesterday. And when I first finished reading it, I was actually pretty furious, and I wanted just to give myself a day to kind of calm down on the outside so you guys wouldn't see me kind of in a very furious mode and just kind of ranting and raving for, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes and just screaming at the top of my lungs. But heck, now that I'm a little bit more calm and understandable, I'm still kind of angry on the inside, but apparently the next chapter in this whole Konami versus Hideo Kojima divorce settlement, like that, as I like to call it, has happened, and this was it. This was really Konami's last chance with me to kind of walk away from this whole situation with a little bit of dignity, respect, and a sense of their professionalism. But apparently they've thrown that out the window with this next stunt of theirs, because apparently they are now trying to go out of their way to systematically erase any sort of connection with Hideo Kojima, to the point where they don't want him mentioned in any interviews, and they've even gone so far as to even take his name off of the box art of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, the game that he has been working on for at least the past 2 years. And this is the last draw with me, because this is the biggest sign of disrespect I've ever seen towards a game director and creator ever. And especially since it's my favorite game director, probably since 2013. And, you know, I made a video a while back that, you know, I was actually happy that Hideo Kojima was leaving, because I didn't want Metal Gear Solid to be the only thing he works on. I mean, don't get me wrong, this franchise is his baby. This is what he will be remembered for, but I want to see him go on and do other things. And I do want to see what he does next, because he has a lot of talent. And this can easily be applied to just about any other franchise. If he even wants to join another franchise or just make a new one and come up with a new IP, I would totally be up for that. But I distinctly remember saying that I was going to give Konami one chance to prove me wrong about what they can do with this franchise without Hideo Kojima. But now I realize that after this, you know what? You can't really have Metal Gear without Hideo Kojima, because he is the one who's really given this franchise any real heart or sense of epicness. And I can't imagine a world without him, with at least his blessing with this franchise to go on. So, at this point, I'm not even interested in any other Metal Gear games that Konami decides to spit out, because after this is going to be the last Metal Gear game that I buy. Not just Metal Gear game, but games that have the Konami name to it, because this is absolutely despicable. I cannot believe they want to go so far as to take his name off the box just to not even affiliate themselves with it. And I know what you're thinking. Brian, why are you getting so worked because they took his name off of the box art? It's not such a big deal. It is a very big deal to me, because he's pretty much had his name on just about nearly all his games. I mean, I have a whole wall of Metal Gear. I have a whole section of my game setup dedicated to Metal Gear, and a lot of it says a Hideo Kojima game, a Hideo Kojima game, a Hideo Kojima game. And that's on even a lot of the box art. So the fact that they want to take that off, I mean, who knows? Maybe his name might still be in the credits. I don't know. I do pay attention to that kind of stuff. But it's just the fact that Konami is acting so childish really shows the lack of professionalism that this company has for someone who has put their hard-earned work into this franchise and given it life and really made it one of the all-time greatest franchises of all time. And this is how they're going to treat him? I really can't imagine what could have happened to bring out this kind of behavior from such a company that up until recently has had a lot of respect. I can't imagine what he could have done. I mean, I think someone behind the scenes needs to come out and tell us exactly what has happened. Because I'm sick of this whole, well, neither party really wants to talk about it, because not only are they not acknowledging Hideo Kojima, I do believe they've kind of shut down Kojima Productions, which is crazy, because that's a very talented group of people. I'm not sure if they all lost their jobs, but if they did, that's just, what do you say to something like that? You're punishing this one guy, this talented game creator, and you're gonna damage his production team that's been working on this game for the past 2 years at least? I mean, this has got to be the most childish, most despicable behavior I've ever seen from a gaming company, probably since Square Enix, since they pretty much destroyed, with one game, or 3 if you want to count them as games, with a certain number in their Final Fantasy franchise. And yet they're starting to make a serious comeback, in my opinion. Square Enix is coming back from the dead. Now that we are getting the remake of Final Fantasy VII that we've all been waiting for. 15 is looking amazing, and Kingdom Hearts is just around the corner right behind that, and I'm pumped up for all 3 of those games. But for Konami, without Metal Gear, what really does it have? Because you canceled the Silent Hill game that a lot of us were really excited for. I mean, I'm not a Silent Hill fan, but the fact that Hideo Kojima was going to attach himself to that project really made me interested, because I'd really like to see what he could put into it. Because up until now, I really didn't think Silent Hill was really any good, even though I know it has a lot of big fans. It just wasn't really a franchise for me. So, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do, because this is what needs to be done. Maybe if they change their minds, I'll feel differently, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this box art that I found online, that I actually think is actually better than the official box art. I'm going to run all the way down to my local Walgreens, which I used to run for 3 years. I'm going to go to their photo department. I'm going to print out a very, very expensive photocopy of this box art, and I'm going to put it right in front of that box art. And that is going to be the box art that I'm going to acknowledge that has Hideo Kojima's name, because that name to me means something. And maybe it may not mean something to you, Konami, but it does to me, and it does to a lot of other people who are walking away and not buying a single one of your games from this point on. This is the last time I'm spending any money on a game that has your company's name on it. And maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you don't care that you're going to lose a whole bunch of fans. Like, you know, we're a big company. We make millions of dollars. We just slap the name Metal Gear on anything. People are stupid enough to buy it. Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is one person that won't be buying it. And I've already looked online at a lot of comments about this whole situation, and I can tell you, I'm not alone in this. And when you really start to feel the pain in your wallets of just how much you've lost, you're really going to look back at this and realize you made a terrible mistake. You could have handled this so much more professionally and walked away with your heads held high with some dignity. But you threw it away. And I want no part of your future. So, screw you, Konami. You really screwed this one up.